What's going on, people? Welcome back in. You know what time it is. It's time for Numbers Don't Lie, presented by CBS and powered by Sofascore. Nico Cantor, JayDee Dyer in the building. And with the last couple of months of the season left, it's time we dive into some of these Sofascore Player of the Year awards. I love this. We're going to go across Europe's top 5 leagues and dive into some of these predictions. We'll leave them at that stage. But of course, you let us know in the comments what you guys think in regards to these Sofascore Player of the Year awards. Nico, have you got anything in mind? Any player that immediately just stands out to you that you want to make sure is on this list?
When I think of Premier League, I want to see a couple of Arsenal players. I want to see a couple of Manchester City players. But I have a feeling I know who's at number one. Bruno Fernandes runs the show. He's so good this weekend. Just watching him play football is such a delight. I can't believe there was, to some degree, a debate about whether he was world class or not. He sits in the living room of world class and basks in all that glory. These can change. Look how tight Bruno Guimaraes with Declan Rice is. Gabriel Magalhaes and Erling Haaland, they seem to not separate from each other. There's still certain games left, 5 for certain teams, 6 for others, as the season starts winding down, and then we'll know who the player of the season per Sofascore ratings are by the end of the season. But I'm not opposed to this. If Arsenal don't win, do you think Bruno should be player of the season?
I think whether Arsenal win or Man City win, I think Bruno should definitely be player of the season regardless, because the standards that he set for himself this year, especially with this one, people are sneezing on how difficult this is to do, but think about how many players in the Premier League history have done that. Of course, Kevin De Bruyne and Thierry Henry hold the record for 20. Cesc Fabregas, I remember getting really high up there around that, but 18 is incredible in terms of an outlet. And then when you think about what he's done in terms of production, in comparison to where Man United were to where they are now, he's carried the show, and very much so deserves in terms of the key passes, where he's at with his Sofascore rating. I am hands down, I'm on King Bruno. And think about it, they were talking about this guy's future as to whether or not he should have been playing for Man United right now. So looking at what he's doing on a consistent basis, and as you say, just running the show, Bruno deserves all of the plaudits, and I think is a hands down winner this year.
The heavy lifting, right, that Bruno is doing, the influence that he has, I don't know. This whole debate about Arsenal, if Arsenal wins it, who's the one person that we choose? I think we've had that open-ended debate. Yes, it's probably Declan Rice, but who has, for me, I think Bruno has more influence on Manchester United and them going in the right direction than Declan Rice. Maybe it's hindsight bias. I wonder what I would have been saying 3 or 4 months ago, but we live in a certain reality right now. I wonder if there's somebody else from Manchester City that can possibly rival Bruno Fernandes, especially somebody that scored this weekend in Ryan Cherki. There were shouts of player of the season, perhaps. I think that is very recency bias oriented, but you look at this graph, big chances created per 90, goals and assists per 90, he is crazy up in the right-hand quadrant of this graph.
I think what they like in terms of when people are putting them into that conversation is the double digits, or double as we were talking about in basketball, right? It's the 10 assists, the 10 goals, being able to impact it, not only providing for your team, but also in scoring the goals yourself. Scored an incredible goal this weekend. Solo effort was fantastic. But think about how rare it is. Look, this is some really special company that you're in. We're talking about coming into the Premier League in your debut season and not only just saying that I'm going to establish myself, but then saying that I'm the best player in the league across the first season. I mean, N'Golo Kante, he was phenomenal when he moved from Leicester to Chelsea. Ruben Diaz hit the league like he was nothing, like he'd been here for years, and Erling Haaland is still showing his consistency now.
I feel like Cherki is a revelation.
But I don't know if you want to put him in the same category as these guys. These guys were game changers.
This season for Haaland was ridiculous, and I know Haaland has been up and down with certain performances, but he's still the top goal scorer in the Premier League. And if you win the title, and he scored a critical goal against Arsenal, that goal against Arsenal in that battle with Gabriel Magalhaes, if City do end up claiming it, that moment, that fight is going to go down in Premier League lore.
We're not going to do what the rest of the world does with Erling Haaland and just sneeze on his greatness because he decided to provide everyone that he's human for a spell of 10 games. He's just been sensational.
Not even.
But you're talking about some of the players that are inhumane. I mean, some of the players in La Liga have been phenomenal this year. So let's switch over to La Liga because I feel like he's going to be one front runner. What do you think in terms of the wonder kid, the teenage sensation, the one that does all the celebrations and the smiles and everything that goes with it? I just love him all the way through because he has the celebration, he has a smile, he has the braces to match. And Lamine Yamal, is he the standout?
And not only that, like the pimple patches.
The pimple patches, he's still a teenager.
I'm very much convinced by this. I don't really have any notes. It's such a shame that for Barca fans, they didn't get to enjoy Rafinha as much. Mind you, Sofascore, to make team of the season, you have to play a certain amount of games. I don't know if Rafinha qualifies or not, but he's been out for a long time. But if you just look at Lamine Yamal's numbers, how much they've grown. I mean, from last season to this season, he's just gotten that much better. And the dominance in La Liga is very obvious.
I agree wholeheartedly, and I think this year when we talked about Lamine, what we all asked from him was productivity in terms of goals, and I think he's definitely asserted himself into that conversation. We saw last year that he can impact the game in a number of ways, and both contributing and of course being a dominant force in the scoring end, but this right here is the standout. This tells me now that you're ascending into that consistent world-class category, and now you start entering the conversation as being the best player in the world. The consistency, look at his Sofascore rating. How you somehow managed, in 23 he amazed me. Now I'm looking at him in 26, he's looking at the complete...
More than Mbappe?
Whoo, don't open that can of worms, because I really know the Real Madrid and Barcelona fans in the comments are going to be like, no, what about King Kylian? And it's true, Kylian is amazing. But the eye test doesn't lie to me when I watch this kid. He changes the way I feel about football sometimes.
From the Sofascore Awards last year in Croatia when we did those, there was one category where Lamine Yamal stood out far and beyond everybody else in this season, but it was the dribbles, the take-ons. And that's why he's such an exciting player. It's that one statistical category that you actually can pinpoint and say, this is why this kid excites me. And that is probably going to continue into the next season, but then when you add it to just improvement overall, it's awesome to see.
Well, you know we're going straight to the Bundesliga. Congratulations to Bayern Munich for wrapping up what was a... we already knew that they were going to be the champions this year from about January. But now we get into the individual awards, and I'm expected to see a lot of Bayern players on this list, yes or no? But I know there's going to be a couple other players that have maybe had some good years. We know that Nico was going to always be on the list somewhere. Joshua Kimmich has obviously been fantastic as well. Yandy Amande, though. Okay. He stuck himself into conversation.
I mean, not only has he had a couple of incredible performances, including the second youngest player to score a hat-trick in the Bundesliga, but he's been consistent enough to be up there. I don't know what Nico Schlotterbeck, what category he's sweeping up numbers-wise to...
Don't be telling me Nico Cram right now, bro.
I don't know, bro. But it's interesting that Schlotterbeck is up there. I'm surprised Luis Diaz isn't in this category.
Schlotterbeck is the only one that I would have taken off of the list and maybe just tried to find Lucho in there because I think Lucho has been sensational. But, you know, sometimes when you're the third member of the band, you don't get as much recognition as the others. But this person is very much the star of the show. I mean, 50-plus goals already this year, Nico. I have run out of superlatives for Harry, Edward, Kane, apart from the fact that we're 10 minutes away from each other. I played against him as a young kid. I'm going to claim it till the end of time because I knew he was a sensation. And now he's going to be the best player in the world.
Can't believe you didn't claim him as the best player in the world. I know you went with Lamine Yamal. For me, if I had to choose one best player in the world today, it's this guy. Are we actually comparing his goal-scoring numbers to Messi numbers?
It's hard because nobody can compare to what Messi did in this 2011-2012 season. Nobody. But what I would say is that doesn't take away what Harry Kane has done this year. And he's also maybe nursed a couple of injuries as well. He hasn't always played. The ankle's been playing up. And he still has some games to go. So sharing the wealth, scoring 50 goals, knowing your team scored over 100 really does show me that this is the man, the myth, and now firmly the legend. I mean, I love it all the way through.
He's next level. And I want to see what he can do in the World Cup also. Champions League and World Cup over these next couple of games, this is going to be Kane's Ballon d'Or season or bust. In a matter of games, the semi-final of the Champions League, a couple of games of the World Cup. World Cup's only 8 games. So let's talk Serie A. What's next?
Come on, man. You know what time it is. Go to Italy because this is the league that's consistently changing. I think Inter has definitely firmly asserted themselves as now probably going to be the Scudetto champions. But how are we looking on the individual mark? Now, I will say, screaming off the bank, how has Fede Di Marco, have they been watching what he's been doing on the left wing this year? Have they been watching the creativity he's been producing as a fullback or a wing back, depending on how you look at it? But would you have given Locatelli the nod this year as the profound leader of the player awards?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit strange because you look at Inter, the team that's going to run away with it, and you're trying to say who can perhaps be influential in that sense beyond Hakan Çalhanoğlu, but you know, Lautaro hasn't been at his best, Thuram hasn't been at his best, you got Pio Esposito coming in, so I guess it's an opportunity for somebody else to sneak in there. Luka Modric at number 2 is sensational. Like, what a legend.
Luka Modric has been fantastic, but I do wonder about our Sofascore team, their relationship with Luka, the countryman is, maybe given a little bit of recognition, because if we're being honest, AC Milan has been up and down. Luka has been good, but AC Milan has been up and down, and I do think the club success has to pay some sort of dividends as to whether or not you get your individual awards as well.
But again, for Sofascore, it's not. It's just numbers.
Come on, baby.
Yeah.
You know what time it is. But Di Marco has been phenomenal, and I'm so glad we're giving him the flowers that he deserves. And you know we got to touch him with France as well. Let's give it a little bit of spaz. Just to spice up towards the end. Now, it reminds me, of course, you were giving love to your brother from another in terms of Joaquin Panicelli in the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
You were putting a spotlight on him. He didn't quite make the list, but do you agree that Vitinha has been the standout player in Liga this year?
Yeah, Vitinha's so good. And talk about consistency, he's up there. He's like a Joshua Kimmich type of player. Last year was Hakimi that ended up winning it for Liga because Dembele, the Ballon d'Or winner, didn't play enough. But I think Vitinha could enter that category. So it's interesting to see if Panicelli would have stayed fit and kept on scoring. I wonder where he would have been on this list. But again, no Dembele. Again, the injuries end up affecting. You have to play a certain amount of games. So we'll see if Dembele does end up making this list towards the end of the season with just 4 games left. I wonder if you guys think Sofascore got it right.
100%. I love the fact that Paris is getting a lot of love, even the 2 teams, and Carabao has been fantastic as well. Scored a great goal, of course, this weekend. And Bradley Barcola, I've been telling people for a long while, I believe he's going to be the breakout star in 2026.
Yeah.
When you look at everything that's happening internationally as well, I think Barcola is going to have a fantastic year and his value is going to go through the roof. But did Sofascore get it right? Did we get it right? Shout out to my boy Nico Cantor back in the building. Feels good to be with my guy. Yeah. Let us know in the comments whether or not you think the end of year season awards was all correct in your mind.
Hey, thanks for watching this video from Numbers Don't Lie. Be sure to catch our show every Monday at 5 p.m. on YouTube. And for news and insights from leagues all around the world, including Serie A, EPL, and all UEFA competitions, both men's and women's, don't forget to sign up for Paramount+.